So far what we've talked about is the stave, the 5 lines. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can put a treble clef or a bass clef. We'll put a treble clef on this here. We've talked about the time signature. Alright? Now, those of you that know the sound of music, you'll know the tonic solfa, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? With, on the piano, if you start with C, you end up with all white notes. But if I were to do that same do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do with a B, go down 1, it's going to sound very different. This is what it sounds like when you play with C. All white notes. If I play all white notes starting on B, see if you can identify a difference. Does that sound the same? It doesn't quite sound the same. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to make some changes, accidentals, to make it sound the same. Doesn't that sound a bit more similar? Just lower, right? Let me play it without the changes. With the changes. Right? So the reason we have to change things and to make these put these accidentals in is because if you notice the keyboard, there's a set of 2 and a set of 3. Because it's alternated with 2 and 3, it's not your uniform 1 black, 1 white, 1 ebony, 1 ivory thing. Because you've got this section here in between where you've got 2 white notes together, it breaks things up. You're not going to get the same sound, same kind of sound everywhere you go. Sounds a bit off here. In order to get the same kind of sound there, you have to make the spaces the same wherever you go. I'm making the intervals that I'm jumping here, the spaces in between notes, the same, but it lands me on black keys. Now, we represent the white keys with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But that only deals with all of that. In order to show the black keys, we use symbols like this, which is a sharp, and this, which is a flat. It's like a little B. What that does is it raises the pitch, the sharp raises the pitch by 1 movement. So that can be either a white key to a black key. If you look at the back of the keyboard, can you see that from here? If you see the back of the keyboard there, you don't miss any of the white or black keys. If you look at the front, you miss all the black keys. So look at the back. If you move from white to white, if they're the ones together, or white to black, or black to white, that is a 1 movement thing. It's what we call a semitone. Semitone, right? If you move up a semitone, you're raising it, you're making it sharp, okay? So, you know, when you step on something and it's sharp, it's because it's pushed up in you, all right? But if you're going down, you're flattening. If you're flattening a nail, all right, that's going down. So up is this way, going up, down, it's that way. So if you go down 1, you are doing a flat, and if you're going up 1, you're doing a sharp. Now here's where it gets interesting. The white keys have their normal natural names. The ebony keys now are what we also call the sharps and the flats normally. Okay? There are some exceptions. But let's go to C here. Let's find middle C. Right? If you go up, go into the back here, 1 movement, 1 semitone, you end up with C sharp. If you go up, you end up with your normal B, or D, sorry, shall I say. If you go down 1, even though you started on D, we now call this D flat. Now, the ivory keys are like the parents, and the ebony keys are like the children. Children have the names of their parents. So then if you've got a double barrel name, you've got your mother's name and your father's name. Okay? Likewise, they have double barrel names. The real name for this in music is your enharmonic equivalent. They have names that are equivalent depending if they're coming from mummy or if they're coming from daddy. Let's say mummy's on the right and daddy's on the left. See? Daddy's on the left. If you came from daddy, that's C sharp. You're coming from mummy, that's D flat. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is how it looks on the keyboard. Let's actually do, let's do G, all right? My maker and my king, that's the G there. Okay. Now, if I wanted to make that higher, next one up is that. Can you see that? That's now, I've raised it, that's G sharp. You put the hash sign or the sharp sign in front. That is now telling me, don't just play G, play G sharp. However, if I were to put this symbol here, that's now in front again, G flat. Tell me to play, to go down one, it's G flat. And that's what the accidentals do. The accidental means it's a change from your natural alphabet. And we want you to raise it or lower it. You can also cancel it, and you use this sign here, natural or cancel sign, and that will cancel what you've got. Now there are some rules to this. We're going to finish with this here. Because if you go to number 16, all creatures that on earth do dwell. Number 15 has a treble clef, and then you've got your numbers. But number 16 has your treble clef and a sharp sign there then, 4/4. So this is the order that you normally do it. Clef, key signature, time signature. Okay? What you can do is to switch on your sharps or your flat, or whatever you want to switch on. Really, it's going to be either flats or sharps that you can switch on at one time. And you can do that from the top. That means every time a note hits the F, even if it's the F here, even if it's the F higher up or lower off the stage, it turns on all the Fs. And anytime you put a circle on the F, it's now not just an F. Here's your F here. It's now an F sharp. You raise it by a semitone. Okay? And there are key signatures that have lots of sharps and lots of flats. They switch on different sharps and different flats. So every time you are to hit the normal note, you actually raise it or lower it, depending on what instructions you're given here. This is one way to do it. You can also do that within the body of the piece. Okay? So you might want to put a sharp there, but you might want to have another sharp somewhere else, or even a flat somewhere else. Okay? You can do that within the body. Now the rule is that it will only last between the bar lines. If you switch it on in the bar line, it will only be switched on from here to here, wherever you switch it on within that. The next one, if you want to have it again, you have to switch it on again. Okay, so it's almost timed. Yeah? If you wanted to have it all the way through, you should have put it into time signature, or the key signature, should I say. Yeah? Likewise, if you had this and you didn't want it anymore, just for a bar, you put the cancel sign. Right? But it will only cancel it for a bar. It's timed. Anything you put in there is timed for the bar. It will work in the treble and the bass, but it will only work for the bar. Alright? So if you want it on, you have to switch it on. So those are your accidentals. You have your treble clef, you have your key signature, and you have your time signature. And these are your symbols that you have: your sharp, your flat, and your natural sign. You can have double sharp, double flat. That's not what you have in the book. That's another story.